Are there any public speakers?
Yes, Madam Chair, we have two public speakers today. The first is Charlton D'Souza, followed by Jason Anthony.
Recording in progress.
I guess we have two public speakers today. The first is Charlton D'Souza.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Hope you can hear me. I'm from Passengers United. So what I wanted to talk about with the audit committee is there needs to be a comprehensive audit of the Permanent Citizens Advisory Council. What is their purpose and what do they do? Because we've had several complaints where when we try to come to meetings and the registration process, they've had issues where the meetings are not being listed on the website, or the Zoom link is not being listed. And some of our members have also experienced rudeness from the PCC members. And there's other things going on. And Mr. Chairman, I implore you and also the board members, there needs to be a comprehensive thing. We've seen some things going on at the PCC that deeply concerns me. And, we're all advocates, we're all volunteers. But I feel like there's some nepotism and favoritism going on and with other organizations that I think might have an issue with MTA policies and procedures, being that the two directors that's at the Permanent Citizen Advisory Council is an MTA employee. So that's why we're concerned about this. And we hope something will be done. And otherwise, I just feel like with this parent coming up, there has to be a comprehensive audit because if you're asking people to pay more, we need to rethink that. So yeah, that's just something that I have. And I just want to let the tech team know that I'm hearing echoing. And today, all day I've been hearing echoing when we're speaking on Zoom. I don't know what's going on your end, guys, but you'll need to check it out. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our next and last speaker is Jason Anthony.
Good afternoon, Jamie, and good afternoon to the audit committee. Luckily, this time in person. I want to do some fact checking to the previous speaker. Yes, the PCAC published their meetings online for the public record, but let's go to the meat and bones of audit. Yes, we need to do audit, and I've been advocating that is for congestion pricing on both sides of the Hudson. Yes, I've been advocating on the western side of the Hudson that they could contribute for their portion of congestion pricing. They seem to listen to my comments, but not advocating to what I say. But that's not the truth. The truth is that the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, better known as the MTA, is in a fiscal cliff. And every time that I see people hopping the turnstile or entering the emergency gates, now I say, now I have to pay $3 on my next trip. And that is very true and very alarming. But we need to do an audit on every single penny that we spend because it is very true. But we have to do an audit on every single penny that we receive from the federal partners, state partners, and city partners because we don't not only depend on them, we depend on ourselves too. But that's all I have to say for this month. I'll see you guys later on capital construction.
Thank you. Madam Chair, this concludes the public speakers.
Thank you, Michelle. Next, we have October 24, 2022 Audit Committee meeting minutes. Any corrections or changes? As we do not have a quorum, we will vote to accept the minutes at the next Audit Committee meeting. Michelle, can you take us through the work plan?
Yes, Madam Chair. There will be 4 meetings this year, and the specific agenda items for each meeting can be found on pages 8 through 14. The proposed work plan was included in the committee materials in October. The January Audit Committee meeting was moved to February, and there are no other suggested changes to the work plan.
Okay, I don't believe we have any questions here today. Next up is Deloitte to present the results of the review of the third quarter 2022 MTA consolidated interim financial statements. The financial statements will be issued in final form after the Audit Committee review and approval. Jill Strohmeyer, Managing Director, will give the presentation. Jill?
Thank you. Good afternoon. Deloitte has completed our quarterly review procedures of the MTA's consolidated interim financial statements as of and for the 9-month period ended September 30th, 2022. Based on our review, we are not aware of any material modifications that should be made to these financial statements in order for them to conform with GAAP. These financial statements are consistent with prior quarters as well as prior years. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions regarding our review.
Thank you, Jill. Sharif, do you have any questions? Okay. As we do not have a quorum, the third quarter 2022 financial statements will be brought to the full board on Thursday for a vote to approve from the Audit Committee members. Next, we have Lamont Kearse, MTA Chief Compliance Officer, who will brief the committee on selected aspects of the Enterprise Risk Management Program and agency compliance with the MTA's internal control guidelines. Lamont?
Thank you. I'm going to take this a little out of order. As to item 6 on the agenda, compliance with the Internal Control Act, I am pleased to announce that we are fully compliant with the requirements of the Internal Control Act. As to items 5 and item 9 on the agenda, the material is in your book, and I'm here to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions? Thank you, Lamont.
Thank you.
Next, we have Michelle Woods, Auditor General, who will discuss MTA audit services activities and accomplishments in 2022 and present the proposed audit plan for 2023. Michelle?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to thank my team, Darren Jorgens, Phyllis Richardson, and Judy Beckford, who are here, and all of the staff for the accomplishments of 2022. We identified $25.3 million in cost savings related to both operational and capital contracts. Our presentation that gives details of the findings for the year and the proposed 2023 plan were provided to the Audit Committee members last week, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Okay. The last item on the agenda is a presentation by Ralph Portnoy, the MTA Chief Technology Officer, on the activities of MTA IT for the past year, including accomplishments, strategies, and plans for the current year. Ralph?
Thank you, Madam Chair. In the interest of time, I would point out to the book where the presentation is currently located. I'd like to thank all of the members of the MTA IT, as well as Chair Lieber and our Chief Administrative Officer Lizette Camilla for fully supporting our activities and changing where we're going with the technology activities. You will note in the presentation some notable accomplishments for year 2022, our close partnerships with all of the operating agencies, as well as some of the strategies for 2023, including focusing on consolidation, modernization, and standardization of information technology, as well as continuous focus on cybersecurity. Thank you.
Thank you too, Ralph. Any questions on the program? Okay. So thank you, and that concludes the Audit Committee meeting. Very quick. Thank you very much. Can we adjourn? We good? Okay.